That is funny, farmer. Actually, just don't mind me. I'm just gonna drive to another country to save some money.
Water.
Oh, son of a...
Water.
Yeah, let me turn
Water.
that down further.
Water.
Where is it? Turn that down to like 45%. So I was at 70.
Water.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Water. Water. Water.
Alright, I'm clear hydrated. You can calm down now. Alright, how we doing? Sup, former? Sup, samurai? I will distract you for the time that you are here, former. Waterboarding time? Yeah, it's waterboarding time. Alright, so, see, that's all I had to do to make sure you guys keep me hydrated, is just put it in the context of torturing me. I mean, sometimes it does feel like too much water, but that's part of the fun. Alright, we are continuing with the shield. Which, yeah, next step would be all the red highlights, so let's just get a whole bunch of Wild Rider Red. How you doing, Samurai? What you up to? As for me, I just learned that... What? Oh. I just learned that, the logo I have to draw for my sister's company is that can be pushed way off, because she's making a... She's making a pivot. But weather is so bad I can't prime the orcs. See, that's why I tell people, get an airbrush. That's why I got an airbrush. If I had to prime something right now, I'd be screwed. It's like 42 degrees and wet. It's not raining, but it's definitely wet. Like, you don't want to prime in that. Not an issue for me, because I have an airbrush. It really doesn't take up that much space, honestly. And the one I got was a little bit over $100 on Amazon. I have to clean it, and I don't have the energy for that. I don't even clean mine, really. Honestly, all I do is I give it a couple passes of rinsing with just water, like usually my paint water. Like, I slosh it back and forth. And then I squirt all the water out, and then I put some airbrush cleaner in it, and I just let it sit, and I put it aside. I used to clean the crap out of it, and it would take absolutely forever, and then eventually I just gave up and started doing that, and ironically, it's somehow, like, performed better since then. It's weird. Most of the bowl is a complete mess. Like, it's just a bunch of layers of all kinds of different paints in there. You'd think it'd be a nightmare and I would have all kinds of problems, but it really doesn't, because I keep the main part of it that actually matters filled up with airbrush cleaner. Here, hold on, I'll show you the bowl of my airbrush. If it would come out. There we go. Right, airbrush. You see that? It's all clean to you? Doesn't matter. Bit down there around where the needle goes into the hole, that's where the paint actually goes. That's clean. That's all that really matters. After that's aesthetics. I mean, as long as you get enough to where you're not getting, like, noticeable amounts of residue from other stuff coming off, but that hasn't really been an issue for me. Just making sure the stuff around the needle is clean. Which isn't really a whole lot of work. You know what you don't have the energy for? Waiting for good weather to then prime the stuff you want to paint, and not being able to paint the stuff you want to paint with the time you do have. That's taking energy out of you. That's not worth it. That's one of the reasons why I went to this new flex schedule. So if I'm ready, like, super early, I'm not just sitting around wasting energy. Waiting to start a thing, I'll just start. And people know to expect that. At least the people in my Discord know to expect that. Waiting is a loss of energy, because you're thinking about the thing you're waiting for. And thinking's energy. You can take that same energy you're using thinking about the thing you're waiting for in doing instead. If you don't mind me getting philosophical over here anyway. And then, you can do all the fancy airbrush stuff after that. Like, have white that looks like mine. Because a lot of the trick for a lot of this is just simply the fact that it's airbrushed on, so my base coat is extremely smooth. Actually, I wonder what if I do this? If that would make this way more... There we go, that's what I keep trying to do. It's a little nub at the back of the pot that kept messing it up. Should be sunny Friday, so I'll do it then. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna be so glad when this shield is done. I am done with these shields. To think I have 6 of my own that are gonna be painted at some point. Oh boy. Fortunately, it doesn't have to be anytime soon. I don't really have a need for blade guard. I mean, yeah, mine would probably look really cool, but I am not feeling a need. I like the bodies. I like the bodies with the cloaks and stuff. The blade guard ancient's gonna be fun to paint. This is just tedious. Still have bikes to do? Yeah, I've got 3 Outriders and the Chaplain on bike. The Chaplain on bike's probably going to be next based on the current voting in the Discord. The bikes aren't so bad. I've done 3 Outriders already. They're not nuts. The Chaplain's going to be interesting. I'll be painting black again for the first time in a while, and I'm trying to think of which of a number of different types of styles do I want to do with it, because it's supposed to be tier 4. These guys are tier 3. Granted, I've upped them a bit because my creativity demands it. But like the intercessors, for example. This is a tier 3 with a custom base, right? I'm supposed to be doing the Primaris Chaplain on bike at tier 4. Same with Kasara-Khan. I've got a bunch of ideas now to do Kasara-Khan to make him, like, really stand out. But I've got to figure out what I'm doing with the, Chaplain. I'm thinking a lot of, like, non-metallic metal-ish stuff, like that kind of style. Kind of style of technique. Where was I? Over here, I think? But done, like, over most everything. Probably a lot of glazing. Glazing and or airbrush. I'm probably going to do a fair bit of research before that. Really narrow in the techniques I want to use. See the one you want to make as if it's dragonfly? I was just talking about doing that, well, let me restart that. That was an idea just for probably the Outrider Sergeant. Because the chaplain actually has a base already for him, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually going to be a fair bit of prep work for the chaplain too, because I was giving him fully assembled, including a custom head, like a bare head for him. Which would be fine, except it's already glued on, and the hair goes, like, out in, like, through the iron halo. That's so annoying when I realized that. And we're pretty sure it's plastic glue, so I'm gonna have to cut that out. Which to do without messing up a bunch of the rest of it is gonna be a thing. And that'll all start I'm hoping next week. I would like to finish this week with this guy done. What I want to do, what I'm trying to do, is get to... I mean, probably not actually going to reach it tonight, but what I'm trying to do is get the shield to the point where it's just the white left, because the white I'll do off cam, because it's white, everyone's seen the white done. And then Friday, do like the sword and the head. The backpack will be done by then, because I'm doing that off cam too, because that's just a whole bunch of white. So this guy can be done at the end of this week is my hope. That's my goal. So next week we start with the blade guard, not the blade guard, the chaplain on a bike. And that guy might, maybe, possibly take until the end of the month, because it's being tier 4 and all that. I have to really go above and beyond. Gonna watch a lot of different painting tutorials and decide how I'm gonna do it exactly. Because here's the thing, he's a chaplain. He's not gonna be in white. He's gonna be in black. So how I paint him is actually entirely up to me, as per the current terms of the contract. And I haven't even talked to the client in months, so... Also, he knows I stream. He has deigned not to... If he has the time when I stream, he has deigned not to attend the streams, as far as I'm aware. So... As far as I know, it's on me to just figure it out. Which, I I definitely prefer it just being tier 4 is like, whoa. On a bike. On a giant black bike. What I mean by that is that's not enough to just do heavy metal style of just like highlight, edge highlight, you know, like mine. That's like my Raven Guard. That's not good enough. All of it needs to stand out. On the plus side, it'll be the first time I've really flexed my muscles in a I should really do vocal warm-ups before I stream. Be the first time I've really flexed my muscles painting in a while. Since I guess like the Sicarian Veteran? There's a Sicarian Venator, which like that I was kind of doing in a rush. A good part of it, anyway. Trying to get this right. Trying to get this the right consistency here. Yeah, I'm running into that again. It just doesn't want to flow. This keeps happening when highlighting these parts. There we go. A little bit. Could be better. Yeah. What's up, Mike? I thought you were gonna be at work. Or are you at work? You might be at work. Who knows? Well, I mean, I would assume you knew. I would not know. You on lunch? Well then, I will take it. I don't know what it is about this paint and this specific inside like edge. It just doesn't want to highlight it like at all. Every shield I've had a problem with this inside edge. You need to paint basically liquid or it won't flow. And it gets on everything else, and it's not clean, and just... ugh. Well, there isn't supposed to be that much orange there, if that's what you're complimenting. I need some corn red to fix that. It's gonna bug the crap out of me. I think it's because, really, I should be using a size 1 on this, not size 0. But my size 1 is all messed up, so that's not really an option. It's not been enough of a priority to replace that brush. Probably like, oh, it's just a brush. It's like, well, these are like $12 brushes individually. They're like 12 bucks each. And the manufacturer is usually out of stock, as they're not easy to produce since COVID. I don't know the difference in brushes. Okay, so what I'm using right now is a size 0. This is a very fine tip brush, right? What this gets you, for being so fine tip, is, well, it's a very fine tip. But you have to balance that with very little body. Body is what you use to actually hold the paint. A larger brush, for example, all of these need their tips reset. Hold on, let me fix this size 2. I use them for a while and they can lose their tips. So, alright, so here's a size 2, for example. Much larger, but not nearly as fine of a tip. So you got a lot more body, so you can hold a lot more paint and it'll actually flow on stuff. Because it's able to hold the liquid, you know, the medium in the bristles, in the body of the bristles. The body being just, you know, the rest of it's not the actual tip itself. So I get the precision of the size 0, but very low body, so this particular paint or this particular edge really doesn't like flowing well, and it would flow better with a size 1 where I have more body to work with. Problem is my size 1 I messed up because I accidentally got the tip in a bunch of glue and that completely destroyed the tip, rendering it effectively useless for this kind of work. Yeah, it was a dumb. I pulled a dumb. Yep, that would actually normally be my workhorse. A bunch of the people in the stream think I use this brush all the time because it's the best brush. Like, nah, actually, size 1 is actually kind of better. Especially for non-edge highlighting. Like, everything but edge highlighting. Because you still get, like, really close to the right precision. But, and in my last pack, that was my workhorse. I used it for everything. And it wore out, so I bought a whole new pack because that was easier than getting one brush. And, you know, my size 0 needed to be updated anyway. So this is my second size 0, but the second size 1 I messed up within like a month of buying it. A pack of these brushes normally lasts me over a year, and it's like $60. So yeah, it's a whole thing. So now I'm just stuck using an inferior tool. Thanks for putting the tip command up, by the way. I'm using an inferior tool for this specific aspect of the job. It's not greatly inferior, it's just not as good as it could be, and it's slowing me down. But also, what's for lunch? Also a little bit quieter tonight. Oh, we're only just getting started. May very well pick up later. I gotta be careful and not snap the shield off the nail again doing this like I did last with the last shield. That was annoying. Oh, I keep going out of frame. Hold on. That should be better. The potatoes shipped $18. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much. I thought you said that you didn't like have any money on you. That's amazing. Well, that'll cover a new brush. I gotta get an alert set up for that. There should be an alert. Oh yeah, there it is. Get a new size 1. Yeah. I forgot the message comes up over there. I have 2 screens going. Which is also why I'm looking in that direction a lot of the time, because that's where my OBS is, and then this is my Twitch. Also, my face cam used to come from that computer webcam on it, so sometimes I still look over there when talking to you guys out of habit. Yeah, we'll go buy a new size 1. Thank you kindly. I can't guarantee I'll have it soon, because it depends on if they have it in stock. Like I said, there's often stock issues with it, but now I can definitely say, yeah, no, I can go get that. Usually if I do a command, it's because I'm up to something. Ah. Sneaky, sneaky. I thought you were just continuing your internship to become a mod. Also, if you scroll down, I don't have my panels super well set up, but there is a panel down there for tips as well. Oh, look through the commands once I get home. I was mostly joking. I mean, okay. I'm on mobile. Yeah, that's fair. Can't scroll down. Ah, yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's right. I do find that kind of weird. You got all this stuff dedicated to panels, and people at mobile can't even take part in it. Yeah, I gotta sit down at some point and really hash out some proper panels. The main thing holding me back right now is having some nice top bars, like you usually see. Especially when I'm capable of making art for it myself, it's just a matter of time. And I'm trying to do these guys at the same time. Yeah, I need more paint. Next thing on the block is probably a mixer. Get these paints real silky smooth, with no effort. Ever thought about different channel point rewards? I mean, yeah, I've thought of a number, just a number of different options, just haven't really I haven't really figured out what I want to do with them exactly. Besides, you know, those there are so that people just coming in the chat can easily ask, you know, very basic questions. What are you painting? What are you painting them with? What paint are you currently using? Get back in frame, you filthy heathen. It's very simple. Just, you know, keep your painting in front of the camera. The other thing is, I'm pretty sure, like, that's all the channel point buttons I have right now. I don't think I can have any more than that currently. Looks like Citadel paints. Well, it's not just like the manufacturer, though I do use others than Citadel. I also use Army Painter in Vallejo. And I think a little bit of Mecha. Yeah, there's a little bit of Mecha too. Also, my primers are Steno-Res. But there's also like what specific color, because usually beginners especially are going after like specific paint recipes. Like what color should I use right now? Like which specific Citadel color should I use right now for X? And I'm like, Rakarth Flesh, or Wild Rider Red, or Baharoth Blue. Because new painters are usually, they just want to know what product to buy or pull out of their paint thing, and then they just slap that on there. They're not thinking about color composition and hues and, you know, what color to color by nature of like hexadecimal value, if you will, like to differentiate from their names. But like, you know, like I didn't choose this red, this orange red here because it's Wild Rider red. I chose it because it's a lighter red than I have for a base coat. It's the next lightest red I have. And then I make it all way more red, like properly red gradient with red ink after that. That's because I'm after a specific color on a color wheel, I suppose is the other way of describing it. But that's something you learn over time after studying, you know, paint and art theory. Which, no, I did not go to college or anything for it. It's just lots of watching other people's tutorials, actually. I'm just learning it over time as I go. And from making branding and stuff for people. Well, I feel like I got way more out of it out of painting than computer work. As far as, you can have as many points or rewards as you want, where did I see a limitation on that then? Was that Twitch or was that sound alerts? I mean, it could have been sound alerts. Ah, I can only have 5 buttons with sounds attached to them. That for certain. Where, oh, that's where the rest of the analytics buttons went. Okay. Hold on. Channel points. Open link in new tab. Oh yeah, I can add new stuff. It just won't have the sound thing, at least not through sound alerts anyway. Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, no, in that case, I'm gonna add a few more. I got a few more, like, obvious ones. Like, highlighted message, for example, is... Oh, that one... Wait, that one's already there. Never mind. Yeah, there's already some of those in there. No, what were the other ones I had in mind? Also VIP slots, yeah. Although VIP doesn't do a whole lot. I've given a few people VIP just as like a haha thing, but... Eh. It doesn't do a crap load. Subs is currently where you get the good stuff because I can't give emotes to followers yet. That'll be in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. Right. Yeah, I know what highlighted message is. It looks like I just forgot that was a default button. Like a default channel point reward thing. I could make a customized one though. I also eventually need to make images for all those too, all those buttons. I forgot about that. But yeah, you know what? Let me hear it. What ideas for channel points buttons do you have, if you had any, when you asked that? I'm always open to suggestions. I might not take it, but I will hear it. I think that's actually all the red highlighting. Alright, nice. Now I can top coat it. Top coat and call the red done. And next will be the silver on the crest in the front, and then a bunch of metallics in the back, and then a whole Oh, and the purity seal. Maybe I can get this thing down to just the white stuff tonight. What is it, 844? Yeah, maybe I can do it. I can do it! Is that? No, it's all dry. Alright. Yeah, for references, Vallejo, Game Inc. Red, not Sido. Just throwing that out there. Sido actually doesn't put out inks, which I think is quite the shame. Inks are amazing. Maybe some like pick a color or mini giveaway for a higher reward. Well, that would entail me having minis to give away. Alright, turn off the hot tub streams, I'm hearing. What's up, Venom? Pick a color, that might... Stuff like that I've thought about, and I might do stuff like that more once I'm out of painting a commission. That's one thing when painting my stuff. Or just random stuff. Because this is a commission, I can't really give you guys the reins on that. Because someone else is paying for it. If I'm paying my stuff and I'm like, alright, you guys can pick the, pick this, this, and this on this mini, you know, go. That might be a thing. They make votes on it. Like, what color power weapons should this captain have, etc. I must go and have it turned off during commission. Well, yeah, that's what I mean, but all I'm doing is commission right now for the next, like, 2 months, so, you know. But have a good one, man. How goes, Venom? Do you have a steamy time in the hot tub streams? Actually, there'd be a funny one. 5-minute vow of silence. On me. Everyone gets super quiet. I'm guessing Venom came in and immediately got a phone call. That's my theory. That or he's dead. Basic Venom is dead. Long live Basic Venom. Alright. That was the ink top coat. It's much more red now. Now on to the crest, which I keep forgetting is the middle silver crest thing. Is that shining silver? Or is that plate mail? I want to say it's shining silver and then like a non-oil wash and then like, you know, highlighting. Okay. There's shining silver. Did come and kill a Chag in a curse bag, yeah, right? Well, I got a decent number of people in here, just no one chatting. So Venom, I had a phone call, they won't leave me alone today. Yeah, actually that was one of my two theories when you came in and went quiet. I can't see. Hold on. Oh no, there is a little bit more red in there. One moment. I think this red wet enough for me to use. feel like I need to get closer up on it. So what I'm doing is extremely delicate right now. Because I really don't want to mess up the red, and I really can't mess up the bone. What spec was I even working on? Oh, over here. I think. On top of all that, this isn't the easiest metallic to work with. It's very temperamental. Yeah, I'm gonna go back over to here for now. If you download any STL files and print from minis, I've got a few I want printed but don't have a printer, so thought about finding someone online to pay print for me, but I have no idea if FTLs are pre-sized or not. I have, and I do have printers. However, my plastic one has been out of commission for a while because I had it all, what do you call it? Like, I had it all calibrated, and then I moved, and then I've not really been able to get recalibrated again. And I haven't really prioritized recalibrating it because it's plastic only. So it's not that super detailed. My other one is a resin one, but I can't actually use it where I am right now because I don't have enough ventilation for the resin fumes. It's a whole thing. But I do have experience in printing. Just ironically, I mean, if it's something that's not super, what do you call it? Super high detail, it needs to be super clean. So like terrain, for example, I could probably do that. It would take some time for me to get my printer back up and running, but I mean, I'll prioritize anything for money. For example, now I'm going to prioritize getting a new size 1 brush, because guess what? We found out the tip button works. And I may have been given money earmarked for a new size 1 sable brush, so a lot of this stuff will actually go a lot faster. Because a lot of time, I'm struggling, like when you see me struggling with putting base coats on stuff, a lot of time it's because I should be using a bigger brush. And the appropriate brush would be a size 1, but my size 1 is all messed up. Music just stopped? Yeah, the music stopped. Now's here what I actually have to find out. Do I actually get the tip money, like, now when it's fully processed, or do I have to go through, like, a minimum, like, payment thing, like, through Twitch? Also, I gotta see if I can find a way to link that into the latest donation bar down there, because that's what it should be. I don't even know how to take in the donations that bar is pulling from. I guess that might be for charity streams, actually. Because the rest of those, they pull from Twitch, so... Yeah, I'm gonna assume Venom's getting all kinds of phone calls tonight. I found some Raven Guard logos on the same shield style for blade guards I thought about, but only the STLs, no physicals. Ah, yes. Those are probably best done with resin. Which I'd love to be able to print some out. I'd print some for myself too, but I don't have that capability right now, unfortunately. So sorry, I can't actually help you. Ugh. Yeah, no, all good. I'm gonna look around that, see if I can find a person. Yeah, that works. Whew, it's only 9, man. I feel like super just wiped. I don't know if it's from just super excited stream earlier and not much going on now, or what, but like, wow, I'm tired. It's a very quiet stream. Yeah, we got a decent bit of lurkers, but yeah, it's super quiet. Of course, it was right after I told a couple people, like, hey, my stream's going, like, super well. I mean, it is still going well by the standards of the last few weeks right now, even with just the lurkers. Now I'm on call this evening, so I just got to a job site and I'm waiting for a secure limit. So yeah, you're gonna be out of my own soon enough. Ugh. I want a bunch of progress in the shield done, but man, am I tired. Holy crap. Made 18 bucks though. I don't know if I mentioned that. I got a tip to get myself a new tip. I get a new size 1 brush. Which I might actually even get that money. Yeah, I might. Yeah, currently Twitch has been soaking up all the money the rest of you guys have been giving me, unfortunately. I dumb Lancaster. Wow. Thanks for the follow. Command tip. It's one of the new commands. If you were on desktop, you'd be able to scroll down, and there is a tip button down there in the panels. 40k, it's so crazy. Yeah. Lancaster, nice. Do we know this person? Maybe you know this person? I feel like I'm out of the loop. Votan is canned, Yark is dead, Angron calls Gaskell brother. Yeah, it's kind of a wild time at 4K right now. I haven't looked into it a bunch, the whole Yark thing, but I feel like he's not actually dead. I also have no idea about the Angron calling Gaskell brother. I've been kind of out of the loop, honestly. I've just had my head to the grindstone, trying to knock out this giant commission. Oh, I messed up some of the red. No. No. But thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to observing my descent into madness. Okay, is this silver basically ready to move on? I think so. I think we can put some moon oil on that, a little bit of highlighting, and the silver's done. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, right. I did super fine shading around these to make it really stick out before. Yeah, like that. Dude, why do I keep making these paint schemes like so much harder on myself? Being a perfectionist, man. It's not the best. I have really studied up on the dwarf history 4K. You mean like the squat stuff? Or like the meta history? Or by meta history I mean like the timeline of like real world, how the squats went through their whole thing. Anyway, squats were a thing, but then they weren't. Yeah, what happened was supposedly High Fleet Leviathan ate a bunch of their homeworlds back in the transition to 3rd edition as a way to remove the squats from the thing because the creators felt like they didn't it didn't properly reflect the setting very well. They didn't fit. Because originally 40k was a sci-fi port of Warhammer Fantasy. Warhammer, like just Warhammer, was what we later called Warhammer Fantasy and now call Warhammer Age of Sigmar. 40k was a port of it. So, did they take Warhammer Race just make them sci-fi? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what happened. So they had Space Dwarves, Space Elves, Space Orcs, Space Humans. Yeah, Space Undead. Yeah, that's why so many of them are, like, obvious fantasy tropes. Straight up. So... So from that, they make Rogue Trader. That's what 1st edition was. We just call it Rogue Trader. And 2nd edition is where 40k really became the 40k as we know it now. It became a war game, not an RPG. 40k was originally a lot more of an RPG kind of thing. A lot of the stuff got refined. And a lot of the basic rules of the universe got set. But it was still wacky back then. I wasn't in the hobby then, but I've read and watched plenty of stuff about it. It was bonkers. And as a transition into 3rd edition, they were like, I'm pretty sure it's 3rd edition as opposed to 2nd edition. It might have been 2nd edition, but I thought it was 3rd. In the event, they decided that the squats are a bit too much of a straight parody of dwarves in a way it doesn't fit the rest of the setting very well. So, as Tyranids were the new big bad at the time, yes, there was a time in 4K where Tyranids weren't a part of it. I don't think Necrons were really part of it either. Yeah, I think Necrons came in later at like 4th edition. Anyway. So yeah, they had High Fleet Leviathan eat all the squad homeworlds. And then, you know, there's been the occasional sighting of them here and there. Like, a good number of years ago, like maybe 3 years ago, there was Necromunda. Or Space Vampires. Yeah, have you not been paying attention? That's Blood Elves. Blood Angels. But also there are a couple minor Xenos races that are kind of like vampires in different versions, but Blood Angels, man. Just straight up Blood Angels. And you have space werewolves, which are the space wolves, who have a rivalry not with the vampires, but with the Teutonic Knights, known as the Dark Angels. I guess I was thinking Chaos side. Well, I mean, what's a vampire? It's an immortal creature that requires the drinking of blood. That's what blood angels do. That's the whole red thirst thing. And there are successors that are totally like just straight up like we are just vampires all the time. Knights of the Blood were like that. And now they're not, because they no longer exist. Guess they got wiped out. Combination of coronated demons and tyrannids at the time during the devastation of Baal. That makes sense. I was correlating to the old fantasies. I'm looking at this 99 calc to see what directly moved to sci-fi. Yeah. Vampires were primarily blood angels. Like, if you want to play vampires in 40k, you play blood angels. If you also want to play Angel Space Marines, you also play Blood Angels. If you want to play Teutonic Knights, you play Dark Angels. You want to play Crusaders, you play Black Templars. If you want to play World War I, you play Krieg, and if you want to play World War II, you play Armageddon Steel Legion or Cadian Shock Troops, depending on your depending on which side of World War II you're looking at. Deathcore Krieg actually started out as an alternate color scheme to Armageddon Steel Legion, which is crazy because the Kriegers are definitely more popular than the Armageddon Steel Legion now. So that was pretty funny how that worked out. What else is in that catalog? Anything that's not an obvious port? No space trance. Nah. I guess the closest to that is like, I guess the Kroot. Can't really have plant people. There is this one image in one of the main rule books, I want to say. Maybe it's the Space Marine Codex. Hold on, give me a second. I want to find it. There's this one image of, like, it's a bunch of the Xenos. I think it's in the big rulebook, 9th edition big rulebook. Of, these, like, Xenos mushrooms. Like, walking mushrooms with, like, cannons coming off the sides of them. I thought they were super cool when I saw them. Like, man, I want to see what that would look like. Crew remind me of Lizard Folk. The Lizard Folk are actually... The theory is they have something to do with the old ones. Which were the ones that fought with the Necrons way back in the day, and the ones that made the Eldar and Kroot. Not Kroot, the Quarks. Or, you know, pre-Orcs. Back when Orcs were better. Yeah, hold on, I want to find that. I think it was the Xenos intro page in the big rulebook. Yeah. There's Chaos, the Xenos threat, right? Nope, maybe not there. Where was it? Yeah, there it is. Alright, this is just an art piece, shows a bunch of different... Also, my music ended. I think I can get away with showing this on stream. I definitely can't show, like, rules and stuff. Even though this book's, like, pretty old, but I think I can show this art. A bunch of, like, just random Xenos in the setting. So we've got some weird orb nonsense. Kind of looks like the thing out of Astartes, actually. Oh, let me zoom out. Hold on. And you have over here this like freaking mushroom, these mushroom dudes with like cannons on them. You got that guy over there, whatever. I don't know why he's got a gun in his head, looks like, but okay. And then this thing, it looks like, reminds me of the Cabal from Destiny. There's just this random, like, art piece just meant... Oh, actually, I'm going to show that. There's a bottom thing, too. Whatever that is. I'm trying to figure out how big that thing is, the mushroom things. It's hard to figure out a scale. Like, I don't know if it's as tall as a dude or as tall as a building. There could really be infinite races out there. I'm shocked DW doesn't milk all the art they can from minis. Well, here's the thing. They kind of do for the board games. You see little bits of extra stuff here and there. Because board games are kind of one-off things, and you only need so many models, right? For like we've got a bunch of other minor races through that. These also, we could make them as more auxilia for Tau. Because, I mean, they have Kroot, they have Vespids. I feel like they have another thing. The Kroot have a good number of units in and of themselves. Full-on armies, though, is harder. Because you gotta make a full army worth. I mean, how long have they been working on Voton? I can only imagine. I think that's ready to highlight the silver there. Then that can be done. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put Nuln Oil on the brass in the back. Although I think that needs a little bit more paint on a few areas. But yeah, in the lore, there's a bunch of minor races that you run into from time to time. One of the most interesting to me, there it is. That's the one I was thinking of. I don't remember who asked the question, but it was something about like someone saying that in their opinion, the crew are the most interesting. I forget who it was. The Hrud. The Hrud are my favorite minor race. Minor, or, you know, alien faction. They're the super ancient race that actually are one of the only other races the Eldar legitimately respect. They've been around forever. And they're horrifying, and they pop up a good number of times from Space Marines fighting them, and they're super dangerous because they have a temporal effect around them that they can weaponize to age people super fast. No, not Crud. Hrud. H-R-U-D. I'm sure balancing as many as there already is pretty rough, hence constant changes, buffs, and nerfs. Well, also they have a stupid system for it. It's based on selling models, not on game balance. Because they balance things like one at a time. Hrud, got it. Off the Google, yeah. Yeah, so, like, chronologically speaking, in universe, I think the first time you hear about the Hrud is from the Iron Warriors fighting them during the Great Crusade, and they beat the crap out of the Iron Warriors. The Iron Warriors eventually won because the Iron Warriors, they won't give up. But, like, they took pretty horrific casualties. And a lot of them got messed up to where... Like, I think that's where their excess of dreadnoughts came from, actually. It's from fighting the Hrud. I know a lot more recently. So here's the thing about Hrud. They, like, infest the planet, like, in the crust and everything. They're like, burrowers and stuff. But they occasionally have these ginormous migrations across, like, from planet to planet. But sometimes their peoples are so large that they're like the equivalent of an orc Wa. It's not as like ridiculous, but it's like the same size and can like swallow like good chunks of sectors. And there's a number of Space Marine chapters that have had intense dealings with the Hrud, and a couple that have been wiped out entirely. Like, their homeworld was in the way of a Hrud migration, and they were wiped out to the man. On their homeworld, where their fortress monastery is, that's no small matter at all. Those things are ginormous fortresses that can ward off entire war fleets of significant factions. And it's the home base. Like, it's not even just Space Marines, it's also their serfs and the PDF of a Space Marine homeworld. So unless it's a feral world, that's usually going to be a pretty good PDF. I'm trying to remember some of them. I used to know some of those chapters' names. But yeah, the Hrud are a whole thing. The Hrud could... I think I've said this a few times in different dialogues about adding new races to the game, to the proper game. And I was like, I want to see a Hrud faction. I want to see a Hrud miniature presence, because if there's any minor faction that has the influence... Like, they probably have more influence on actual galactic affairs than the Tau do. Because they're spread over more of the galaxy. And I don't think the Tau have ever wiped out a Space Marine chapter. Let alone command the respect of the Eldar. Like, they're not that minor. Not really. I don't know what that would even look like rules-wise, because I don't know if them... Like, we don't even have art that we can, like, definitively say that's HUD, because we have multiple competing arts and descriptions that are considered canon. And I don't know of them actually using weapons. I think it's just the fact that they have a natural temporal effect around them. And they use that to intensely age their targets. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the bloody Nonoi on the brass blast. Yeah, the Hereta are pretty cool. There's also the Slaw? Slow? I don't know how you say it. Slaugh. And they are the Worm Men. And they are awful. And disgusting. And pretty cool. They're gnarly looking. Yeah, you're probably looking at the one with the super long arms. With the claws and the giant, like, black eyes. Yeah, it's a really cool pick. So that's the Hrud. Yeah, I'd say if there's two factions that are in the runnings to become a main faction, it's either the Kroot, that'd be a little hard because they're just mercenaries. They don't really have a, what do you call it, like an agenda, really? Or the Hrud. Do the Hrud have an agenda? Who knows? They're one of those Xenos that are so Xenos that we don't understand them at all as humans. Just lost. We know they're intelligent. They're very intelligent. I mean, supposedly, I mean, somehow they get from planet to planet. So, like, I don't know how that works. It's never really been explained. I don't know if it's just them doing a weird reality-altering effect, or if they have technology. It's never been really explained. I mean, you see one right there that's just, like, naked. Like, so they don't do clothes, apparently. So, yeah. As we are halfway through the stream, it is time for a bathroom break. I will be back in a moment. Alright. I just realized my palette's been, like, sideways this whole time. That's actually how I often paint off-cam. These days, I have it sideways. Anyway. Now I'm, like, hungry again. Has it been, like, 2 hours? Yeah. Hungry a lot lately. Just freaking hungry. Alright, so what do we still have here? We got a purity seal there. I'm probably gonna start that pretty soon. We got a null oil going on that. We gotta do the black in there. What I want to do, I want to ensure I get the shield to the point that's just the white left. And I'm going to do that over that and finish the backpack over tomorrow. I also have to drill and pin the guide to the base. I want to do all that off cam because it's not super entertaining or enlightening, really. So then Friday, all that's left is the head and the sword arm, and then it's done. Yeah, so I want to get all of the non-white stuff and the shield done tonight on stream. That's my goal. I mean, this shield is getting done by Friday one way or another, regardless. Pardon me. Just trying to figure out the most efficient way. I mean, we got time. We got like an hour and a half. I'm just gonna start on a purity seal. I keep thinking that's what I should do next. Which is probably the right decision considering there's a number of washes involved. Can one believe that there will be a day where I am not painting white scars? Sometimes that thought enters my mind. There will be a day when I am looking backwards upon this. Oh man, it has been too long that I've been doing this. Ugh. Mm. Cool, cool. Alright, that's the wax seal done. Time to do the parchment. I'm gonna flip the palette around here. That could be a thing I add to one of the channel points buttons. Spin the palette. You're over halfway to white scars, right? Yeah, I'm like, I'm probably nearing 3/4, actually. Yeah, there's really not that much left. Right, yeah, no, that was a big deal because I think that was part of why I was feeling so tired and demotivated is because I was just waiting to make progress on this thing hanging over me. And it felt like on some level it almost feels like the rest of my life can't get back to whatever until this is done. I feel like this is holding everything back in some kind of weird way. Like everything will suddenly improve when this is done. So yeah, so this guy's almost done. Then it's the Outrider. Yeah, no, it's I'm over 3/4. Because it's 3 Outriders and 3 characters that are left out of 30-something dudes. Now, to be fair, 2 of them are the most detail-intensive of all of them. But, they're just single models. So it can't get too crazy. Gonna be a lot of blending, though. I was even thinking of off-camera, while doing the chaplain on a bike, prepping the Outriders and the Apothecary, like all the way up to primed and base coat, and just waiting for brushwork. I think that would save me a lot of calendar time. If I get ahead of schedule on this guy, I might start doing that with the chaplain, because I'm pretty certain it's going to be the next guy. So whenever I finish one guy, I can just immediately pick up the next guy and, like, have him ready to go. I may have to, glue him onto the corks and stuff, depending, because I only have so many corks, but... Alright, that, I believe, is done. Not quite. There's a little lip. Because, yeah, I don't think the stream was being massively improved by watching me prime guys or modeling. It's a busy work. in equivalency to, like, you know, like this stuff. The stuff I would make tutorials on, kind of deal. Purity seals, power swords, bone. That's what people want to see. It's also boring for me, and if we don't have an active chat going, I mean, you know, I'd rather be, you know, watching some YouTube content or a movie or something while doing busy work like that too. Like this patrician 20-hour Skyrim full breakdown vid. This guy's really good at explaining how the Elder Scrolls games are actually not that great. They're novel in your first playthrough, but after that, and you actually stop and start thinking about it, the games are kind of garbage. Well, at least since like Oblivion, Morrowind was pretty good. Oblivion was a meme. Skyrim was a popular meme. This is someone that's sunk like hundreds of hours into all three. Probably Oblivion more than either of them, which is probably kind of bad because Oblivion was the worst of the three. And not nearly as much into Morrowind as I should have. It's just by the time that I really understood that Morrowind was the best one, I kind of... I don't know, an open world RPG has not caught my attention besides Elden Ring in like, I don't know, 8 years? Basically since I got tired of Skyrim. I don't think another open world game has caught my attention like that since then. To be great, most of the ones that have come out have been like Ubisoft garbage, cash grabs. I am not about that overly choked AI hand-holding, or not AI, UI hand-holding, shallow content nonsense. That's why Elden Ring grabbed me so much. Minimal UI. I love a good minimal UI. I like information, but I like organic information. I don't need like quest icons, period. Garbage. I hate them. Skyrim broke that for me. I hate having quest icons. It ruins so much of the experience for me. I think that's why I like... After I hit a certain age, I think that's why Morrowind like really started to seem so good, and the more I watch like breakdowns of the Elder Scrolls games, it really becomes clear. The best open world experience you can have at something like Morrowind or Elden Ring, where you are told the quest, like, here's the thing we want you to do, now just go do it. Bye. Like Morrowind, here's a written list of directions. Go get lost. Like, literally, go into the ash wastes and literally get lost. That's a good open world experience. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to have. That's what it is in like the quests and the couple quests in Elden Ring. There's not that many quests, but they don't tell you crap. Like there's this one dude that's like, oh hey, have you seen my servant girl? Have you seen this girl named, you know, whatever her name was? She's my servant girl. She keeps running off, and I'm like, no. In my playthrough, I never found her. I got asked about her so many times. I only know what happened to her from watching videos of other people. I never ran into her, even though I've explored most of that map. I mean, my first playthrough was 140 hours, and I don't feel like a moment of that was wasted. All of that was amazing. The only downside is that I am so exploration driven that now that I've explored a bunch of it, it's hard for me to go back without like seriously shaking things up. Hence why I keep mentioning the randomizers. Yeah, 140 hours. I'm not joking. That's one playthrough. Because I did like I here's what I do. I literally do the left wall technique. You know, like a maze where you just follow the left wall. I did that with Elden Ring's map. Effectively, it's like, all right, here's this new area that I'm going into now because this is where the main quest is like kind of like leading me more or less, and I'm just gonna like slowly flow my way out, seeing every little pocket of everything, killing everything at least once, talking to everyone I could find at least once, going through all the dungeons I found, you know, the mines and the whatever. Someone gives me a quest, I go try to like solve that if I can. Yeah, no, yeah, 140 hours. It was amazing. Amazing. That game is so good. 12 out of 10. It's not to say it's perfect. There are some problems with it, but that is by far the most the most quality game I've played in a very long time. Very, very long time. If ever. Like, it actually brought what I felt like the magic of Dark Souls 1 back. When I first played Dark Souls 1, which was like a magical experience for me. One of the highlights of my gaming career? Time that I've played games as a human. Or video games, anyway. Yeah, that's an open world game done right. Don't hold people's hands. People don't like that. At least a lot of people don't. I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there's ones that want a very easy, leisurely story experience. Okay, well, guess what? From Software games aren't for you. Sorry. Watch, what's his name? There's a, Viati, something like that. He does lore vids for From Software games. You know, the Souls games. Go watch his vids then. Don't play the games. Watch his vids, learn the lore that way then, because you're not gonna have a fun time if you're about hand-holding or easy experiences. From Software games are experiences, and they're not for the faint of heart. On any level. On gameplay, on the story, on exploration, none of it. You gotta have some gonads to play those games. Because they will rightly punish you for messing up. But at the same time, you'll know, yeah, I did that. That was, I screwed that up. Honestly, the From Software games, I can never give like enough praise. I think our music ended again. It did. Um, yeah, if I were to make a top 5 favorite games of all time list, Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring would be 2 of the slots. I'd be tempted to put Dark Souls 3 up there, but I don't know. Not quite. It was very good, but I don't know if I'd put a top 5. Um, yeah, no, the other 3, like, I don't know what order of this exactly, but the other 3 would be, like, Sword of the Stars, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and probably, I guess, like, Minecraft, just based on the sheer number of hours I put into it. That's just so rage-inducing to me. So what part of it makes you rage? I want to dissect this right here. I want to know what makes it, why and how it angers people. The realism? Oh, that's my favorite part. The actual movement-based combat. Like, I love that. Now it's hard for me to play games that are like that, like melee combat like that, but don't function like that. Like, I've been watching Bricky play through not Dark Soul, God of War Ragnarok. And it's cool to watch, it's fun to watch, but I would be so annoyed at this one specific aspect of combat, and that is hits don't, hits on enemies don't project weight. And what I mean by that is that hitting them will not stun them. Only specific things that are meant to apply a stun or a stagger or whatever will stop them mid-attack. Hitting them does not stop them mid-attack. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't like that. Dark Souls has that. You can, and it depends on the enemy. It won't always work, but if you hit something of the right size in relation to the thing you're hitting them with, which can be quite big, then you will cause stagger. That's a thing. There's whole combat styles in that game based upon the fact that you are swinging something very big, and nothing can really ignore the fact that you're swinging like a piece of a church at them. And some enemies just flat out get flung around by getting hit by stuff that big. Like, they just get tossed. And the same goes with you. You get hit by something big enough and you go flying. My head can wrap around that. I can work with that. That's why my playthrough, my main playthrough, that 140 hours, that was as a tank build. I did heavy armor, the heaviest I could find at any given time, basically. Until towards the end, there was one specific outfit that I liked really well, and there was only like one armor set that was like heavier, and I didn't like that one, so I didn't use it. But besides that, the heaviest armor I could find. Great shield, usually the Kaku great shield, because I had 60% magic damage reduction. Or 70%, sorry, 70% magic damage reduction. And my weapon would be what would normally be a two-handed weapon, and it was for most of the game. So first it was a halberd, then the golden halberd from that tree sentinel, the rider guy you see in the tutorials, or not tutorials, the trailers right in the beginning of the game. Used that for most of the game, and only started switching up towards the end when I found a few other potential options. But that golden halberd is absurdly good, but it was a very high strength, high endurance build with a decent bit of health. I could one-hand any weapon in that game. Oh yeah, towards the end, the main weapon I used was actually a greatsword that had, ultra greatsword that had very specific effects. I won't say the name of it because it's kind of spoilerish. But, I was death. That's what I'll say. Oh yeah, I need that Abaddon Black over here for scripting. But yeah, so I could smack quite a number of enemies around, or interrupt their attacks by hitting them first with a weapon large enough. Wouldn't always work, depends on the enemy. A lot of different size enemies in that game. But also, I had a giant shield that covered my entire body. So, good luck doing damage to me in the first place. There were a number of bosses. About halfway through, it became clear that there were a lot of bosses that straight up could not damage me if I did not allow them to. I had to screw up numerous things for them to do damage to me because of my sheer amount of damage. Just full-on negation by having a ginormous shield. Thus, I breezed through quite a number of bosses. And even every time I'd find one that seemed like it should be hard, but I bullied, I'd stay there and grind it, doing co-op with people and helping other people beat the boss for items. That was a lot of fun doing that, actually. Alright, so we've got... I'm gonna do the Dawnstone on the handle bit first, then I'm gonna highlight the brass. We're actually like, almost done with the stuff I need to do to this thing. What am I looking for? Dawnstone. There is one game that kind of breaks that rule that I really like, or one game series, I should say. That's Darksiders. That's a little bit more action game-y. But actually, now I think about it, you could interrupt a lot of enemies by hitting them first. Sup, Thunderhead? What's up? How you doing? Oh, Darksiders. Sorry, I thought I said it. The Darksiders series. I love the Darksiders series. I love the world. I love the art direction. It's such a cool game. Yeah. Yep. I've played through all 3 of the normal games. I can't bring myself to get and play the what's technically the 3rd game because it's like Diablo style, and I don't care for that gameplay style. I've owned Diablo 3 and I never finished it. I like the world, I just don't like the gameplay. That specific gameplay loop doesn't really work for that kind of top-down spam ability thing. Yeah, I know a bunch of people love Diablo 2, just that top-down, like, it's like Hades. Like, I have a bunch of people tell me I should play Hades, that I would love Hades, and I probably would. It's Greek-based stuff. I love that stuff. But it's Diablo-style gameplay. I can't get into it. Isometric viewpoint. Yeah, that thing. There's one game that I like that, and that's The Binding of Isaac. And I think because it's also roguelike, and it's got a lot of randomizer stuff going on, and it's not quite the same. But it's got that viewpoint, and the viewpoint's usually the main thing that messes me up, but for some reason I'm fine with it for Binding of Isaac. Everything else is, I'm like, nah, get out. While Binding of Isaac, you know, one of the reasons I put it in my top 5 favorite games is, let me pull up Steam real quick. How many hours do I have in that game? Stupid amount of hours in The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Which is now like Afterbirth plus, but anyway. Come on, Steam. Man, you're so quick to pop up when I accidentally click you, and then you take like, 3 hours to come up normally. Oh, we're in an ad anyway. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I'll say that after the ad's over. Ooh. Yeah, that's some bonkers. Just looking at that makes me want to play it a little bit. Oh yeah, before I put this on, I should put the non-oil on the handle there, because that needs non-oil. Almost done with the ad. If it would end so I can continue my conversation. There's so many options now. I think I'm old because I remember playing Diablo and being super hyped for a D2 release. Since then, there are so many RPGs though. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, the one game that I don't mind isometric viewpoint, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. As I look at Steam, 1,154.4 hours in that game, and what's insane to me, and this is why it keeps me hooked, out of 637 achievements, I only have 158. I don't even have a quarter. I have about a quarter of the achievements after nearly 12, 1,100 to 1,200 hours. Like, jeez. And looking at the screen, I'm starting to want to play more of it right now. I mean, the Binding of Isaac is, just the randomizer roguelike is just, that's a very addictive recipe right there. And the fact that all the items combo into each other, or not all of them, but a lot of them will combo in weird ways. You get weird mixes of stuff. Oh man. Like, every single playthrough is entirely different. Yeah, Binding of Isaac, really good. But yeah, how this conversation started was talking about like the Elder Scrolls and how I've been listening to some very long breakdowns of them, like full break everything down. And how actually the Elder Scroll games are not that good. Critically speaking, if you actually stop and think about them, they are not good games. And my comparison for like an open world game that I think did it right, that it really grabbed, like the game that's grabbed me the most in, man, I guess since Destiny came out. But definitely the only open world game to grab me since I was a teenager is Elden Ring. For all the opposite reasons. It doesn't hold your hand. It actually just shoves you out into the world and be like, hey, you figure it out, dude. And I'm like, yes. Power unleashed. Quests? Yeah, no quest icons. It actually, Skyrim broke quest icons for me. I hate having quest guide points now. I mean, it really became obvious when I was playing Elden Ring and didn't have quest icons, and actually to figure that stuff out. That was awesome. And yeah, there were some that I even broke down and looked up guides, because man, I could not figure out anything for some of them. But I think that's actually cool in a way. You saying you put puzzles in a game that had legitimate, like, good answers, and I couldn't figure it out. I failed. I failed in the video game. Perfect. That means it was a puzzle. It was a puzzle worth my time. Not this match 3 kindergarten stuff they had in Skyrim, for example. Oh yeah, these definitely locked out grave robbers for centuries because they couldn't match 3, so they got shot full of arrows. Like, wait, what? Are you kidding me? But also, Thunderhead, I think, yeah, you and I are both getting old. That's, yeah. I remember when Diablo 2 came out. I wasn't into it, but I remember people raving about it. What a miserable feeling. What's not getting into Diablo 2? Or having your intelligence insulted by Elder Scrolls? Oh, aging. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, dude, you wanna feel old? You wanna feel old right now? I just forgot the name of the song. Scary Monsters and whatever Sprites by Skrillex came out like 13, 14 years ago. Oh, what's up, Former? You're at the airport? Nice, nice. You can do it. I believe in you. I want coffee, but cafe is closed. Fair enough. I want ice cream. I don't have any ice cream. I would like some ice cream, though. The Lord of the Rings movie came out 20 years ago. Ugh, I went to every release night. I wasn't quite old enough to go to release nights for Lord of the Rings, but we definitely got the DVDs as soon as they came out. And man, have I watched them a lot. Not nearly as much as my mother. They're her comfort movies. It's 4 a.m. Yeah, I can see why you'd want a coffee. That's pretty rough. Hey, don't worry about it. As soon as you get on the plane, you can just go to sleep. Haha, no. No, I'll be fine. It's the ultimate way of getting over your fear of flying. It's just sleep on an airplane. If you wake up, then obviously there's nothing to be scared of. The Xbox 360 came out 15 years ago. Think about that one. 15 years ago, the 360 came out. I still have 360 games, just like right there. I also have some Xbox originals. Not many left, but I got a couple, right? Or did I sell them all off? Oh, maybe I sold off the last of my Xbox original games. That's fine. Eh. Anyway. Alright. Where are we at? So, everything but the white is done. This is where I definitely wanted to hit in the stream tonight, because my intentions is to do all the whites, the white cleanup, the actual painting the white, do all that off screen, because most of that's just boring and tedious and me redoing stuff a bunch, like, over and over again. It's just, it's not exciting, it's not fun, even for me. Finish the backpack, which is just white at this point. Off cam. I need to drill and pin the actual guy to its base. It's also just tedious. And then Friday, we're going to paint the sword arm and the helmet. Actually, like, fun stuff, and then put the guy actually together. I really hate when they do this cutout nonsense. Because it's supposed to, like, line up with a rise in the helmet. Just design it so it doesn't clip. How about that? Ugh. Anyway. And I was saying earlier how I'm actually pretty tired. Gaming conversation perked me up a little bit, but fairly tired, and we're two-thirds? Yeah, about two-thirds of the way through the stream, so I might call it here. Is there anyone to raid? Is anyone on? Anyone on we care about? Tabletop Tyrant is on, for one. Because, yeah, I'm actually... I was feeling a little while ago, like, wow, I'm really dropping. I'm crashing. If anyone has recommendations for a raid target, go ahead and toss it in there. Wicked Mini painting? We could do Wicked Mini. I actually Yeah, I follow him. I've been there a couple times. He's cool. Oh, I don't know why I just closed that window. I need that window. Go back. Ganon 022. Midwest Miniature Guys doing MCP. What do you mean by MC? What's MCP? Marvel Crisis Protocol? Ah. Right, yeah, no, you'd think I'd remember that. Um... Let's do... I don't even see him in here. He might be over in art, in which case I'd have to hunt him down, so I'll just, we'll do... We'll go meet this Ganon 022. We'll check out this Canadian man according to his tags. Just gotta wait for the pre-roll to go through. Yeah, we'll do that. I might have an early dinner. Kind of hungry. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. There's a chance I might stream tomorrow. It might be painting. It might be me playing Fortnite with my cousin, because he streams Fortnite on Thursday nights. Yeah. Just chilling, doing some work. Cool deal. And, but if nothing else, we'll definitely be back Friday to... I want this Blade Guard done Friday, so Monday we can start on that, most likely Chaplain on bike. That's the goal. That's the big goal. And, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to really mention right now, so... I think we're good to raid. Let's, I now have passed his pre-roll. Let's set it up. Ganon 022. Let's go. Let's hope it actually brings everyone. It's very, iffy lately. And, alright, sweet. Have a good one, peeps.